shall we begin?
Are we starting? Well, let me just open this bag really loudly here. Okay, go for it. Okay.
Last we left off,
Mm-hmm.
the four of you, as well as Irina and a newly found friend named Casimir,
Mm-hmm.
have been making the treacherous journey up Mount Gacchus
Mm.
in search of the Amber Temple. Last session, you made your way well up the foothills, into the lower valleys and hills of the mountains, proceeded higher and higher, came across an abandoned camp, pushed further on, came to a frozen lake, and discovered some winter wolves trying to eat a small child. The wolves were quickly
Mm-hmm.
dispatched, child was saved, and you continued on your journey. You then had to make your way through a forest, using only the markers left behind by presumably the Silver Legion. Small stone obelisks
Mm-hmm.
with little dragon statues on top. And having gotten through that, you then found yourself in a sort of like uh, enclosed little like bottom of a cliff type area where there was a lot of old ruins, like a big old watchtower in the middle of like a small like frozen lake, as well as some other outbuildings lying around, just all very worn and decayed. Going from like an odd dragon statue to, you presume it's maybe some sort of like, it was an outpost of the Dragon Legion. Um, and yeah, you were briefly ambushed by a fiend known as a Hezroi, and during that combat, another fiend appeared and seemingly slayed the Hezroi for you before training all of you. But that was dispatched quickly and without too much difficulty.
Nearly killed.
You then made your way up to a frozen waterfall where the young boy, Calder, um, announced his presence, and you were let into uh, the mountain folk village known as Yedrag, which I don't think I said. So yeah, you come into this place. As you come in, it's basically like, uh, think of like the
Just say Wilhelm.
um no, it's not like that at all.
Okay.
It's like the village is situated in like almost like the crater of like the peak of one of the mountains. So like this is the only way in from ground level. The only way in would be like hundreds of feet above you. There's like a small, basically like circle of like lights, that like natural light that comes in. It's a very isolated and like well protected village. Um, this is where we'll pick up. You come in, you see, yeah, this like little village. Given the number of like tents and people you see around, you reckon it's, inhabitant wise around 100 or so people. Um, all the tents themselves are all, made of like elk and bear hides. It's very hunter-gatherer type community. Uh, a lot of them seem very large. Like a lot of them are between the 6 and 7 foot mark, giving you kind of maybe an inkling, perhaps, of some like giant or Goliath bloods, like in their ancestry. Um,
Giant what?
Giant or Goliath.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. Um, Anything else interesting? Yeah, as you like come in, many of the residents like kind of like watch you, like not like in a hostile way at all, but just in like a very kind of curious way. You imagine they don't probably get very many travelers or anything. Um, People here seem to be like doing a mixture of things. There's like people tanning, doing woodworking. Uh, Almost everyone seems to carry a weapon on them. Um, Very like primitive, like spears and axes kind of things. Uh, so yeah.
Hmm. Strange looking place you got him at.
I presume that this is directed to Calder.
Yes. Oh, sorry, we led.
Uh,
You sound like a nun.
it keeps us safe from outsides.
Hmm.
Then how did you end up outside, child?
I was I was being taken on my first hunt.
Don't bring up the fact his parents are murdered by a big fucking demon. It's, it's fucking rude. His parents are brutalized and fucking torn apart, and then he nearly got eaten by wolves. It's enough to. It's enough to. It's enough to make anyone sad.
He can hear you.
He can fucking hear me, can he? Just turn around right next to him, like fuck.
Just like head down a little bit, but like, it was well, only my mother. My father is the chief.
So he's still inside.
Oh,
Yes.
How could he, why would he let you come outside with without any protection? It
He
doesn't
looks
make
like
any
he
sense.
looks a bit confused at you and is like, I, my mother and Bruna were there. It's kind of like
Let's just let that go for the moment and go talk to the boy's father. How's that? Shall we go see your dad?
The next question would be, is your mother a giant too? That's all.
she was before she was ripped in half and eaten.
she's only a half giant.
Calder kind of points to like a large tent in the middle. Hey, that is my family's tent. Heads on. Quite a brisk pace to his step. Heads up to that tent. There's like warriors outside it who just, obviously don't prevent him from going in, but they eye you kind of warily. As Calder heads inside, you all follow, I presume.
Yep.
Um, yeah, find yourself in like a fairly large tent. It's maybe like 20 foot, like wide, and like a circular shape. Um, it's pretty like sparsely furnished. A lot of like just furs on the ground. There is like a table and like chair, but you can tell it's very like amateur woodworking made. Like a lot of the pieces don't quite like line up and stuff. It's very like put together. But nonetheless, it all looks kind of cozy. There's a lot of like trophies along the walls of the tent of just various skulls of different animals, like mostly like bears, wolves, etc. Yeah, and as you head in, you see sitting by like a small like fire in the middle of the tent is a pretty big guy, probably like 6'8", 6'9" when he stands up. Just big, like built like a brick shithouse. Giant like axe over his back. You see him just speaking with like another warrior. Um, as he like turns to look at you, he like sees his son, has like a brief kind of smile before then looking at you. His eyes kind of like look around for someone, and then the smile just kind of fades as he like stands up. Keldor like runs over to him and like just hugs him. He kind of like hugs him back with like one arm while like staring at the rest of you.
Yeah.
I think I understand.
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
We all know the risks. How came you by my son?
Found his tracks into the woods.
He was fighting some winter wolves.
Found the tracks of wolves following him. He followed the tracks.
Kind of like looks down at him, holds him a little tighter. You have returned my son to me. You are honored guests. Feel free to rest in our village. If you wish, you may trade for some goods and supplies. You can tell that like common doesn't seem to be like a first language of his. Seems to like have to almost think about the words he's using.
Thank you very much. It's very kind.
Of course. There is a tent set aside for travelers. You are welcome to it.
Thank you. We'll make use of it. It'd be nice not to sleep in the snow.
This evening, we will hold a funeral for my wife and Bruna. It would please me if you would attend.
Of course.
There will be feast and much drink.
To be a nice event.
Danken.
Rollo here will show you to the tent. I would like time with Kaldor.
Of course.
We will speak again later. As the warriors with him, Rollo, sort of like does like a chest bump kind of to the chief, who didn't actually introduce himself, but he heads out and kind of just gestures for the rest of you to follow him.
Follow along.
Just sort of takes you through like the village, towards like one of the edges where there's like one tent that's like set a little bit further away than the rest of the tents. It seems pretty much the same as the rest, just aside from the fact that there's not really any of the villagers hanging around outside of it like the rest of them kind of are. And as well, you notice that like a lot of the other tents, you can tell there's like fires inside them, and like there's like holes in the center of the tent where like the smoke escapes. This one doesn't seem to actually have a fire lit inside it, for obvious reasons. But he shows you to it, and
Music is too distracting.
sorry, yeah, this music doesn't really fit right now. If somebody wants to put something else on.
I'm kind of tired of thinking that. Which one's it again?
Which one's what?
Which one's the music one? Where do you type
It's
the music?
type of music. If you go to the bots at the very bottom, I don't know if you have permission though, do you?
Wow.
So,
I think she has got DM permission.
Blackjack corner, jazz bar.
Yeah, jazz bar.
I've got a good one too, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it. I'm just learning how to use this, Nathan. So that I no,
The
so that I don't have to
Hessman.
keep asking Paul. Like
So yeah, Rollo shows you to this tent. He like kind of holds back the flap for you to all enter.
Just to clarify, are you saying Rolo or Volo?
Rollo.
Okay.
R.
like the sweet that you like, the caramel sweet.
Yes, like the caramel chocolate sweet I like. Yes.
Okay. But is this the dad who's
Also
called
like the
Rolo or
traditional
that
like
other thing?
Scandinavian name, but sure. What?
Is this the dad or is this that side dude?
This is just like some villager, like to a warrior.
he's the side piece.
He's just a side guy,
Side
yeah, side guy. But yeah, he like opens his tent flap. He kind of like points to the like essentially empty like kind of fireplace like pit in the middle, and then like points to like a stack of wood that's sitting outside,
Thank
and
you
just
very
kind of
much.
like grunts,
No.
nods back,
Right.
and he just begins leaving.
Get myself comfortable. I light the fire and set my small tent.
So you set up your tent.
I'm in my bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Let's have a tent inside the tent.
Put a,
No.
pitching a little tent inside a tent, yeah.
No,
Oh yeah,
how
yeah.
many- I like put it in my bedroom
Um,
and stuff.
There are like 3 bedrooms currently in this, but they seem quite like old and
I'm okay.
fairly used, so like
Mm.
you imagine they're probably not much more comfortable than just sleeping on the ground.
Yeah, I'm
Um, but yeah, you can use your own though, of course. And the tent's definitely plenty big that like all of you can stay in here quite comfortably. You reckon I could probably like a tent the size, like if people were like sleeping like bedroll to bedroll, you could probably fit about 12, 14 people. So it's quite
So
comfortable for like 5, 6 of you.
so 20 if they spooned.
Yes.
It's important to know these things.
So yeah, does anybody want to do anything in particular or?
Could I, after assisting to get the fire lit, could I go for a dander around the village, please?
Absolutely, may.
Wonderful. I would like to look for a couple of things.
Okay.
First of all, do they seem to have any kind of agriculture? Even like
Not
thick,
really, no.
thick root vegetables.
Not really, no.
Don't destroy their
Um,
crop.
Given that like every outside of every tent almost there's like tanning racks and like you know that thing, the I don't know what it's called, but you know like the wooden frame thing that you like hang like a deer from when you like slit its throat to let all the blood drain out. Whatever those are called.
A, a
You know,
desanguinator.
yeah, like uh multiple of them are outside of
Mhm.
like most tents. You imagine that the main source of diet here is just meat.
Mhm.
I think they
You
were
also
looking
notice
for s'mores, but
you also you also notice that some people like carrying around with like small like baskets filled with like mushrooms and berries.
Mm.
From what you can tell, it is purely like hunter-gatherer, like no agriculture whatsoever. And as you're like walking around, you notice that like you are walking on what is pretty much mostly just stone.
Mm.
Like the flooring of this place is just all like granite and stone.
What a place to live.
They seem happy.
if money existed here,
Mm.
mining would be a great job. Really.
Is there anything else you were looking for, or?
Can I hear anyone speak their native tongue?
Oh, you absolutely would, yes.
Can I tell what it is?
Do you speak Jotun?
No.
Then no. Well, I mean, okay, you might recognize it as Jotun, I don't know. Or Yotan, I don't know how you pronounce it. But yeah. But make me some sort of check, actually.
I'll make you some sort of check. Can I make like fucking history?
Sure. History works.
If it'll fucking roll. It's a nat one. There must be just a native language to this mountain.
Yeah. You've never heard this before?
How quaint.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
I'd like to go find a trader. See if they're trading.
Okay. As you so, are you walking around with I almost said Fergus. Are you walking around
Oh
with
yeah,
huh?
how is our elf friend? How
Casimir?
does he seem? Yeah.
He seems quite fine, comfortable. I'd say actually make me a perception check, Amrita.
Why are you rolling for me?
What?
Someone else rolling.
Yeah, Nathan rolled a history.
Oh,
The reading comprehension in this fucking chat.
What's that, Bolo?
Shut up.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. Because you specifically asked about Casimir, you would have like noticed whenever you guys first entered here, one or two of the villagers when passing by like made like like nods of greeting specifically to Casimir that he returned. You feel like he's been here before and he's like quite comfortable with the people here.
Is he still injured?
I think probably yes. I think everybody's fucked, or at least most people are. Actually, no. I think Irina's probably like one of the only ones who's like completely fine. Maybe.
I didn't take any damage either.
Oh, did you not? Okay, never mind.
I don't think
No,
he
never
was
mind.
either.
Irina is also Irina's a little bit hurt. She's like probably got a couple of gashes. Casimir is kind of hurt. Yes, he's probably just beginning tending to himself and like try bandage some wounds and stuff. Actually, I'd imagine Irina's probably helping him with that because she's trained in first aid.
I'll hit him with a cure wounds as we go
Sure.
past.
Yeah.
Let's do a
Alright.
second level slot. I think that'll do it.
Yeah, that would do. Probably, yeah. Ah, thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
No problem. We all did very well fighting the demons out there.
Yes, I I apologize. I had no knowledge of their existence. I would have warned you all otherwise.
I figured that was sort of the way of things, so not to worry about.
That is true. But no, you all. I mean, I had an inkling, of course, that you all were proficient fighters. But to see it firsthand, I must say you're all rather good.
We do alright for ourselves.
I'm glad we bumped into each other,
Certainly
and
am.
I'm glad we're on the same side.
Oh, that too. That too.
You seem quite popular here. Do you come up here often?
I wouldn't use the word popular. Familiar, yes. I've been to this village twice now. Um, on both of my attempts to get up to the Amber Temple. Of course, both times I would have, well, I suppose technically 4 times if you count coming here, pressing on, coming back and stopping. So I've done my best to, you know, um, familiarize myself. But many of the villagers don't seem to speak common or, well, any language I know. But it's not too difficult to get by. If you wish to trade, they don't have currency per se. It's more of just a barter system. You you want something, you offer something, kind of thing.
Sounds good.
Because maybe at this point, Yasiel, would you go now to look for someone to trade, kind of thing? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you start like looking around and stuff, like you don't really spot anyone in particular who seems to be like the trader kind of thing. You kind of get the impression that if you see something you want, you go up to that person and you're like, you point at it, offer something, and see if they give it to you. Is what you kind of feel like is how this place works.
Sounds good. Do I see anything interesting? Or
I mean, that's a very subjective question.
I mean, is it all seal pelts and like clubs, or is it, you know?
I mean, yes.
Mm.
Like, they're very simple people. Like everyone's clothing is like furs and levers, as are the tents. All the weapon, like pretty much all the weapons they have, none of them are made with metal. It's all like the spears have like flint tips. The axes are just large pieces of like stone, essentially, that have been like chipped and sharpened. Um, Things like that. Like it depends, like really what you'd be looking for. Um,
Any sort of amulets or like trinkets?
I mean, you would see that some people are wearing like sort of like crude little like talismans of sorts, but they're mostly, they're made of like wood or like clay maybe. You're not quite sure. Um, but one thing that does catch your eye actually is you spot one person in particular, like an older man who seems to be wearing like a necklace with like a small like bright orange gem or jewel in it, and like maybe take a little step closer and you see that like he's just sitting outside like a tent. He seems to be like doing some sort of like woodworking or like whittling or something. And you see that like on like a table like just inside his tent, like the flaps are open. You see there's like maybe like half a dozen different sized like pieces of like some sort of orangey gem or orange colored mineral.
Hmm. Interesting. Like point at a bit and point at his amulet.
He like kind of looks down at it and like holds up a little bit.
I like point at the point like the woodline and then point at the gems they get.
Okay, he kind of like looks from the gems to William to you, and he like points to uh his amulet and says, "You want same?"
Yes. Yes. And I take out one of my gems and I hand it to him.
Okay. What gem do you have?
I'm gonna say it was. I didn't specify. It says I got one gem left. I assume it's like a ruby or an emerald.
Okay. He looks at it, like eyes like wide a little bit, like, "Oh, this is really nice," kind of thing. And he kind of like this, and then he points to the necklace, and then he points at the like amber colored like mineral.
I pointed to Amber.
Okay. So from his understanding, you're exchanging this to be have a amber necklace.
Yes.
That's okay then. So he pockets that,
Uh-huh.
and then kind of like gestures to like the selection of amber essentially.
Mm. Is there any bit like that like stands out to me as being nicely shaped or
Uh, most of it looks like imagine if you just had a massive big chunk of like amber,
I
smashed
just
it,
like shaped it off?
and
Yeah.
that's just like the bits here. But there is one in particular that is like fairly round and smooth.
I'll pick that bit.
Okay, he like picks up that one and like just nods at you.
Mm-hmm.
He like puts down the work he was doing and like picks up some like small little like small branches, and he begins just like filing them and like shaping them and just doing that sort of stuff. He gets pretty engrossed in the work. You don't really know how long it'll take, but you definitely think it's going to take at least. It'll take an amount of time that you shouldn't just stand and wait.
Okay.
Like, kind of like maybe come back later kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll split ahead on then. Take a look around the
Yeah,
rest of the encampment.
go for it. There's not really much else to see.
Nah, I just dimer about until I head back to
Yeah,
the
that's
tent.
fine. Very good. Uh, Loon, Lan, do anything in particular, or just kind of chill out in the tent?
Mm,
Um,
hmm.
do I take it like just a walk around the tent, like not the tent, the camp, just to keep myself
Around
occupied.
the tent.
Yeah, I'm just like doing circles in the tent. Yeah, that's what I'm doing for this. I just
Pacing.
take it. Yeah, it's basic.
Hmm.
I just take a dander around the camp as well.
Okay.
Have this smell or see any like potions being brewed. I'll be honest. I think this sounds like a check because in Lewin's mind, you could easily confuse a potion for a stew
You know
or
what?
something.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Make me like a perception check.
Yeah. I mean,
You're like walking around.
mhm,
You do spot a few stews being made, but you're like, that's not a potion.
mhm,
And then at one point, you're walking. As you've been walking around the camp, you kind of like you determine like the okay, all the tents seem to be like they're all within 10 to 15 feet of each other, except for
mhm.
your tent, which is pretty far aside from the rest.
Right.
But you
Outline.
notice that like the opposite side of the camp, there's like another quite large tent that's set a bit aside from the rest. As you're really looking at that, you're like kind of walking a bit close to it. You see like the tent flap is open, and you see that like there's you can see inside there's a man like lying like on a bedroll, seems to be like injured, and there's another like man who's like seems to be tending to his wounds, and like behind him there's like a large like work table almost that seems to be just covered in like different herbs and like mushrooms, and there's like a little small like cauldron almost that seems to be like brewing something, and you're like, okay, that looks like a medical tent of some kind. Like, if I'm gonna find a potion,
Mm,
that's probably where I should look.
mm. Okay, sure. So the guy's like tending to the guy that's unconscious. Or just
Yeah, he seems to be
yeah.
like applying some sort of like salve to the like a leg wound.
It's fair. I'll just
Yeah, he looks up at you.
sorry for disturbing you. You wouldn't have to be a alchemist or a crafter by any chance, and someone who could also make some items that heal.
When you say the word heal, he like kind of like nods. Yes, I am healer.
Brilliant. I sort of like go into my pack. Friendships explained to me. Um, I pull out a few things that like might be interesting. Like a bronze spyglass that I got from Exetanter's tower. Uh, trades this for healing potions.
Jesus Christ.
Kind of like stands up and like comes over and like looks at it very quizzically. Like, do you like offer it to him? As he like
Yeah.
takes it from you, he's like looking at it, sees that there's like glass through it. He holds up, but like it's the wrong way around. So like he's looking at you for the opposite end, and is like doesn't seem to understand the function.
So it's fair. I'll just like take it back from him. Gold. Just try to find some random stuff. Pull out the oil of sharpness. It's like a long vial of stuff.
He like
Flux.
looks at it, takes it.
I pull out my sword as well. Just to, I just point at the glass and just that sword. Pour it on this. Kills things very easily.
Okay. He like puts it in like a pouch he has.
Just like look at him.
He just nods and turns around and goes to his little like work table.
Okay. Okay, this is not charity. Thank God. Okay.
Do you stand and watch or do you leave?
Should I come back later? What would
He doesn't respond.
okay, I'll be outside. If you get things ready, I suppose. And I just go outside the tent. Just sit down, squat. Like cross-legged. I mean, not squat.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
wait. I guess till I'm
Ah.
cold.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry.
Cool. Lan, you've been left in the tent with Casimir and Irina as the other three of your companions just all left the tent
Like,
individually.
bye-bye!
Point.
Um, does does this place or its sort of where it looks, does it look anything like what I saw in my dream? Do you want a description of my dream?
Yes, because I don't remember.
Again, flowy robes, longer hair, edge of cliff, big valley below, casting unknown spell, wind and energy swirling as I cast spell, energy coming out
Ah.
from me, the valley, all living things get new life, future spell, voice whisper in my ear, the power from the earth, recognize voice, naturally remember dream.
This does not look like the scene you saw in the dream. It doesn't look like anywhere you saw in Barovia.
Okay.
Yet.
Do I know if these people can do magic? Or is there any magicalness in this community?
If you'd like, you could cast detect magic. It's kind of like, I mean, you could roll a,
Oh,
like an Arcana check, but like that would be very
that.
difficult to gather anything. So
I mean, like, we have this like uh, holy mother or some old lady who does magic in town or something.
I mean, not that you know of, but like, it's not impossible.
Um, well, in that case, I'll just chill with Irina and Casimir.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine those two like are kind of just chatting amongst themselves.
Mm.
Obviously, like if you say things, they like include you in the conversation. Um,
Is there a frozen waterfall nearby?
yeah, you basically pass like through, not through the frozen waterfall, like where the frozen waterfall was, like
Mm.
at the side of it, there was like a bit of the cliff that like was cut away, so you can kind of go
Mhm.
like past the waterfall and like in behind it, kind of.
Okay. But is the waterfall like, is it the way it is due to nature or due to magic? Oh,
You would presume just nature. It's so
okay.
cold up here. Well, this village actually, you probably would notice actually, all of you, that it's given the nature of like where it is location wise, it's quite insulated and it's, you know, it's not warm, but it's nowhere near as like freezing cold as it is outside. I mean, it's so cold outside, a waterfall has frozen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. Interesting. I asked Casimir and Irina, do you guys want to go out for a walk?
Arena is kind of like, yeah, a walk would quite nice actually.
Maybe
I
go
would
sit
quite
by the
quite
brook
like a
and
walk
watch
rather than the hike we've been doing for these last like 2 days.
you.
Casimir is like, I think I'm all right. I think I'll do a bit of studying and just perhaps swap out some spells.
Mhm.
Arena kind of like stands and waits for you to get up as well, and then the pair of you can just have a little walk through the
So,
village.
mm,
Is there anything particular you want to talk to her about, or just general small talk?
how's her hair looking? It's been a while.
Oh, all the dye is gone. So like, sh her hair is like not bright red, but like it's red. It's very red.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, just small talk, just walking around
Yeah.
and taking in the sights and the people and their lives and I don't know. That's something. If there's any interesting wildlife we see, we'll just talk about that.
There is no wildlife in here. They eat it all.
Oof.
Like they don't. There's not even like dogs
Dogs
or
too.
anything. They
A
like
fucking
if it's not human, they eat it.
a fucking
Um,
cuckoo lands and gets shot with 15 bows at once.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that. I'd say you guys would have all have arrived here at perhaps like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time you all have gone and done all of these things, maybe like half 5, 6 o'clock. So by around half 5, 6, Sean is when the healer would have prepared some healing supplies for you, and roughly as well when like the guy with the amber would have made the little necklace for you, Yusil. Um, so yeah, he finishes it and like hands it to you. It's just very simple, like um, it's like some sort of like string. Um, I guess yeah, it's just string. With like a lot of like twigs that have been like shaved and like then like bent into like a quite a nice like very Celtic looking like design. Think almost like a maybe like a Trinity knot type thing. With like the gem held in the middle, like with the twigs kind of crossing over it to hold it in place. He like hands it over to you.
Take it and bow slightly.
Yeah,
I
he
put
like
it
kind of
on.
nods in return, and like as you put it on, he like a little bit of a smile and like nods again. He didn't say it, but you know he like in his eyes he said looks good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Leave him to his work.
He says I was doing it again. Sean, as you're kind of just sitting there, maybe you're starting to like fall asleep a little bit. You just get like a tap on your shoulder.
Yeah. Hello. Oh. Stop. Just have up.
He like hands you like a little like a bundle of like things like wrapped in like it'd probably be wrapped in some sort of leather.
There. Alright. Set all my arms. Say it. Thank you. Touch it. Set. Set the head. Thank you
Cool.
very much.
So if you would like to add to your inventory,
Yeah.
5 salves that heal for 2d8 plus 4.
Hmm.
Mm.
Hey.
As of now, my notes there. Irina and Len go for a walk. Lewin goes to apothecary. Lucille goes to jeweler. Gregory goes somewhere. Where do you go?
Gregori's wandering
Gregory
around
goes.
and taking in the sights and the atmosphere and their general culture.
Just say you're hunting for a fucking village last boy. They'll know.
Gregori's hunting for a village lass.
Only twice his size.
Damn
It's
right.
like 3 times the size.
Oh, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
Yes, mommy. I mean, mommy. I mean, mommy. So,
Hmm.
round about 6ish or so, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
The camp has got considerably darker. Clearly the sun has begun to set, and with given the like the nature of the such a high ceilings like open space, the darkness falls very quickly. As it
Mm-hmm.
does, a lot of like torches and like large, almost like bonfires begin being lit throughout the camp. Um, and not long after that, you hear a lot of like. I'd say by this point you probably all returned to your own tent. Um, Around the maybe like half 6, 7 o'clock mark, you hear a lot of like murmuring, a lot of like voices talking. Um, if you like kind of poke your heads out, you see that quite a lot of the villagers have all seemed to gathered around like the central tent. Well, there's like quite a large bonfire. At this point, you've also would have smelt a lot of cooking meats in the air and a lot of like stews.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you gather perhaps that this could be the funeral that the chief was speaking of, or at
Yeah,
least the beginnings of it.
I'll go stand at a respectable distance and
Mm.
watch.
Yeah, you'll do so perhaps, and watch from like a little bit away. You can see that pretty much the whole village seems to have turned out, so it's a good 90 to 100 people. Um, the chief emerges from his tent with like Calder at his side. He begins speaking in a language I don't believe any of you speak, and speaks for a couple of minutes. There's one point where he like says uh, says the names Sigrun and Bruna.
Mm-hmm.
So a few gasps kind of go out from the crowd, a couple of bowed heads, like head shaking a little bit, and then he like says something, 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 mentions Calder, and then says something while gesturing to the group of you.
They fucking killed her.
Like a lot of people like turn, and there's a lot of like nods of like approval, and like a few like a lot like some smiles, kind of like a lot of like heads, kind of like nod, like bowing in thanks almost, kind of thing.
Mm.
Um, the chief continues speaking once more, and then finishes it off with some sort of like almost like into like some sort of like war cry
Uh-huh.
that the rest of the village all take up in unison, like
Mm-hmm.
arms raised kind of thing. And then some villagers who are off at the sides like basically bring out these large trays of just like meat and like bowls of stew and begin just passing them around.
Mm.
Some of us bring out these like basically like drinking horns and begin like passing them around. Eventually, after maybe like another like 10 minutes, as it gets around all the people, each of you will get basically offered like a bowl of some stew, as well as just some like meat to just grab with your hands, essentially. and as well as like a drinking horn.
Fucking chuck in.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Oh
all
yeah.
tuck in. It's like not seasoned meat per se. It's just cooked meat, but like something about the atmosphere and the fact you haven't had like such a large amount of meat in such a long time. It tastes really good.
Mm.
Like you don't even know what kind of meat this is, but it tastes pretty damn good.
Salted pork.
Salted
I just
pork.
want to spoil the pie again. The
What's that?
children pies.
Oh yeah.
The
Fucking better not be. I'll burn this entire village to the ground.
I like to imagine that like at some point somebody like one of you out loud is like, oh, what is this? This is really good. I imagine some villager nearby, like hears you, turns around, and just like points to his necklace. So you see his necklace is just a bear claw.
Sick.
Sick.
Metal as fuck.
Sick.
It's pretty metal, yeah.
You guys want to like retire these characters and just spend our days amongst these villagers?
I mean, based.
It's honest work. Uh, yeah. Um, the night will then proceed with just
Mhm.
sort of general like revelries. See like one or two villagers bring out like very primitive like drums and begin like
Mhm.
just doing some like drum beats and stuff.
Mm.
Um, others begin like doing some sort of like dancing's not quite the word, but like almost like ritualistic
movement.
kind of things. It's like you know how those uh like how stories would be told through
Mhm.
like a lot of emotive movements and dances and stuff, and like you'd wear like, you know, they have like a like the mask or head of something on a stick to represent a character kind of stuff, like things like that begin happening, like these sort of like stories being told, stuff like that. But yeah, it's just a pretty pleasant evening, all things considered. So it is. If anybody
Lovely.
wants to do anything in particular, you may, but that is pretty much how the evening will go.
That's fine.
Eat some hot food and go get an early night.
Alrighty. I feel like Grigori wants to do something.
Gregory would like to sidle up to the chief, please.
You may, absolutely.
Can I also do that, please?
Yeah, you can go with him if you
Just
want. Yeah,
from two different sides.
yeah. The pair of you approach. If could you throw your phone the other side of the room, please?
How's that?
Better.
Good. Apologies, chief. I've got some. Got a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
He just nods.
The demons that have been roaming the lands recently. We were able to slay them, bring some absolution to our people, but we're wondering if you've heard of them before or if they've just turned up recently.
Calder informed me of your bravery, slaying Shusuva. It was
Well, it's
well done.
what we do. We're just wondering if you knew if if they are around for a while or if they've just turned up.
Shusuva was first spotted perhaps one full moon ago.
Oh yeah. Mm.
It is not uncommon for strange beasts to come down the mountain.
So you think she came from up above?
All beasts come from up above, from temple.
Oh yeah. And have there been beasts like that before?
Yes, normally we slay them,
Hmm.
but Shusuva was exceptionally
Cowardly.
difficult.
Hmm. Thank you. I hope you were able to bring some small comfort to your tribe. If only we got here a couple of weeks earlier.
It is the way of things.
Not for much longer.
Looks you a bit confused.
Ah, don't mind now. Pondering sort of old man.
Tell me, your companions and you,
Hmm?
what are you doing in these mountains?
Tell me, Chief, have you ever heard of a man called Strahd von Zerovich?
Your chicks.
He spits and says, "The Shadow Sworn. Yes, we know of him."
How do you wait? How are you safe with him in the same land as you? How do you keep him away from you?
He has never come here and bothered us. We stay on the mountain. Perhaps he doesn't know we're here,
Hmm. Might be the way. Might be the way.
but I'm sure he does. Our weakling kin. Big shakes his head a little bit. They swore to him many, many years ago.
I'll see.
They dwell down in the forests.
Hmm. All right. All right. Well, we're on a mission
Wait,
to we're on a mission to kill him.
that's not the first time I've heard that, but I wish you luck. All the best.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. I love doing serious scenes with this fucking accent. It's the best. It's the best.
What were you gonna say, Rita?
How far out of this village have you ventured on your hunting adventures?
Generally, we only go as far as the snow falls. From your perspective, that would basically be like the towards the end of your first day of journey when the snow began to fall. Is like basically like
Mm,
the top of the kind of foothills of the mountain. So not terribly far down the mountain.
okay.
Hmm.
Mm. So
Hmm.
you don't know the people who live here or the kind of lives they lead.
Travelers tell us of the other villages in this land. Uh, this is trying to like remember something. Beiki, Dalki,
Huh?
Valaki.
Balaki
Yeah.
is a village, big village, bigger than ours.
Yeah, just about.
And there's Kresk. I was told similar, um, isolated
Yeah.
warriors like us.
Mm.
Pretty much, yeah. Yep. Has anybody ever gone up to the top of the mountain?
Many
You ever came back
Have
down
you?
again?
people go up, beasts come down.
Hmm. I'll
The
see.
temple is a place of evil.
I see.
Are your companions and you heading to the temple?
Yeah.
Perhaps you should speak with Elder Ormir.
Oh yeah. He got a bit of knowledge.
Yes, more than I.
Hmm.
And
Alright.
he kind of like looks into the crowd, and then he spots someone. Ormir, this like quite old looking man, probably like in his like late 50s, early 60s. Um, comes out of the crowd towards you. Still like quite well built though,
Mm-hmm.
even though being so elderly. Comes over to you and Lan, and like nods at each of you,
Alright.
and then the chief, Ormir, please tell these travelers about the temple. And he kind of like nods. Um, if you don't mind, I'd like to sit whilst I tell you. My back isn't what it once was. This guy seems to have a better grasp of common than the chief does.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk somewhere else.
Kind of like looks at the two of you and, where are the rest of your companions?
Probably out at the. They're probably out at the others. Can't say festivities, it's a general.
I mean, I'm sure you could spot them easy enough. They're probably all still like together. See like Luin and Ysael and Irina and Casimir probably all standing fairly close together. Um,
Mm.
Ormir begins walking towards the rest of the group. On his way there, he just like grabs a stool that's lying somewhere and takes it with him and sets it down amongst the rest of you. Len and Grigori following him,
Mm-hmm.
and he sits down.
Mm-hmm.
You wish to know of the Amber Temple?
Certainly. Why not?
It lies further north from here. 2 more days' travel. When you find it, there is a better way in than the front door. As you approach, head to the left. You'll see a small crevice, crack in wall. You can head through there to gain entry. Be
Mm.
warned, inside there are dangers.
Mm.
Strange. He like seems to be like looking for a word. And he kind of like taps his head a little bit. Skulls. Skulls with fire. Patrol. And some creature, animal like fox, but speaks.
Mm.
Does not like visitors.
Alright.
If you head there, please keep an eye out for the chief's eldest daughter. She is at the Ember Temple right now. It is a rite of passage for chiefs.
Uh-huh.
They must spend 6 days and 6 nights within the temple and not become corrupted.
Gotcha.
Understood.
Do you have a name for her?
Helwa.
Thank you.
What did you say it's called?
Hmm?
What did you say again?
Helwa. Helwa.
What's the name of this initiation?
The name of the daughter of the chief.
Um,
And how many days has she lived there for at this point?
She left. Hmm. She left about 6 days ago. So she should have 2 more days to spend there. She should be on her last day or night when you arrive. Should she have survived?
Yeah. Alright. Hmm.
When we get up there, we'll make sure she gets out alright and bring her back safe.
Like Casimir's kind of stand there and he's kind of like does a bit of like a that to himself. It's like, no wonder I could never get in. I tried and tried to get through that front door, but
Never thought to have a look around.
he like goes to answer you, but then just sort of changes his mind. And like he like turns to Ormir and he's like, Ormir, why did you never tell me the last time I was here? And Ormir like looks at him. You never asked, Casimir.
I love having failed losers as our fucking NPC companions.
It's a fucking village full of races.
every village in this campaign is full of races.
Fucking hell.
For good reason.
As the module says too.
Does it actually say that I am a failed loser that doesn't know to look around the building to see if there's a note on the door? Oh, I love this guy. Oh, I enjoy him.
Well, at least he knows the way in now. Thank you for your assistance.
Ormir kind of like nods the rest of you, and then
If
gets
the-
up. Oh,
If the chief's daughter is lost, I assume there's no one can be done.
No need to be negative, mate.
Well, it's a possibility we have to keep in mind.
I mean,
it is, but she is of strong heart. I do not believe she would succumb.
just
Very well.
smash cut to her getting her fucking face eaten.
Jesus.
By who, you? Fuck.
No, just a skeleton. Not even something good.
Very well. Thank you for your help.
Of course. I will leave you to your evening. As he gets up and rejoins the Frivolties.
Well, shall we
Well,
get
this-
another night? We have many things to do.
Yeah, but this point it's probably like 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Bloody we set off the butter.
Alrighty. Yeah, Irina and Casimir are both in agreement.
Yep, we get an early night.
You'll
Early.
yeah. Head back to your tents. Do any preparations you do for the evening. Casimir does some work on his spellbook.
Or training for Arena.
Yeah, you could do some training for Irina, yeah.
Time to sharpen them sword skills.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, you could definitely teach her some stuff.
Hmm.
So you could. She seems to be she's very enthusiastic and she really seems to enjoy it. So, unless anybody else wants to do anything. You can all rest for the evening. No watches needed. You all feel
Very
pretty.
nice.
Probably more like one of the first times in a long time feel relatively safe.
Aw.
Never safer in this fucking.
Are you
So,
talking to me? You fuck.
Like a fucking drop there.
with that,
Mm-hmm.
you all sleep.
Hmm.
Have a nice rest.
All my spells
Could each
got
of you
stopped.
make me a wisdom saving throw?
Son of a bitch.
Sick.
This shit again.
Another one, another fail.
YouTube.
Why?
It's designed to protect
The two,
us
baby.
from the outside world. Fuck.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh, for a second there, I thought I failed. Oof.
Oh,
I'm gonna be the only motherfucker that doesn't get a dream ever this entire campaign. My wisdom is too strong for you, traveler.
wait.
You need a player with weaker wisdom.
Oh wow. Okay.
When are you gonna wild shape yourself into a wombat?
Okay. So the night passes very peacefully for each of you, but not for Irina.
Oh.
As maybe at like 4:30 in the morning, perhaps one of you who's like sleeping next to her, would notice that she just wakes with a quick like a start, like a small like and I'm just gonna say it's probably like I imagine probably maybe Lan, maybe is like next to her, like Lan. You notice, yeah, Irina like wake up, like covered in sweat. Her like eyes are like kind of like darting about, so she is, and she like is like breathing quite quickly. It's like, oh. And she kind of like looks at you, Lan, like, oh, I'm sorry, I just had the most awful nightmare.
what happened?
I, I, I'm not really sure. I was, I was standing with a man, a tall man with a beard, and then this monster appeared and killed him, and then chased me, and I was at the top of a castle. And I jumped. I, I leapt off the edge, and I was falling and falling, and then I woke up.
You know what this monster looks like?
I It was so fast. It was a blur.
If I would detect thoughts, can I see her dream?
Huh.
Huh.
Oh.
What's the description of detect thoughts?
Uh,
Could you like just like cast the spell so I can see the description?
uh,
Because maybe if like the image of the dream is still in her mind, maybe because that's like
hmm.
Jesus, that's the description.
Oh yeah, I love this fucking spell.
You need the thoughts of certain creatures.
You know what? I'm gonna say yeah, fuck it, because that's a pretty good use of the spell. Sure.
Like,
Do you tell Irina you're gonna do this, or
uh, yeah, because she'll know, right? Yeah.
yeah?
Okay, I don't worry. Just calm down. Don't You don't have to tell me what happened. I'll see it for myself. And
Oh, okay. cast a spell. Okay, so what you see a dark knight on the top of a castle of black stone. You see a man standing in a courtyard, uh, tall, very handsome, like a very like nice trimmed beard, wearing very fine clothing and a very like ornate sword at his hip. You see a woman standing beside him. They're like hands like clasped together. Um, Very beautiful woman who looks strikingly like Irina, but just slightly not. But the same like red hair, the same like facial structure. It looks like her, but something. It's not the Irina you know.
Do you recognize the guy?
Sorry,
Do you recognize the man?
you do not recognize the man. No.
Hmm.
You see these two talking. They're smiling at each other, quite clearly in love. And then you see a dark shape just emerge from one of the castle doors, head straight towards the man. You watch as the shape just with like large claws just impales the man through the back before throwing him to the ground. You then watch as this creature, like this large like white face, long, long jagged teeth, just pulls at his neck and just bites down into the man's throat. The woman screams and begins running.
Hmm.
You see the creature just begin bounding after her. And then you hear it call out a name. You hear it shout, Tatiana. Tatiana. She keeps running until she gets to the edge of a parapet. She turns and looks at this creature as it stops moving and stands up straight and begins slowly walking towards her. And you see a man that you vaguely recognize for some reason. Pale white skin and long dark hair. Blood dripping down his chin. He like extends a hand to this woman as she turns and leaps off of the parapet. He rushes forward and like looks over and you just watch as she falls hundreds of feet. And that's all you see.
I like step out and I'm sweating now.
Yeah?
No wonder you woke up. That was terrifying.
I know, right? Oh,
Do you,
like,
that that man looks. I've seen him before. Don't you think so? How do we know him?
the the man with the beard?
Yeah. Huh? No, other guy. At
I,
the
I, I,
end.
I didn't see another man, I just saw a monster.
So
All
I
teeth
see a
and
man with he
claws.
sees a monster.
What's the difference?
You didn't see another man?
No, I just saw the handsome man with the beard. And then the monster attacked. I couldn't really see it. It just looked like a black shadow with fangs and claws.
He did. It kept saying Tatiana.
I I didn't hear that. Or maybe I don't remember. I'm
Have you
not
heard
sure.
that name before?
I maybe it sounds familiar. I'm I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, it's okay. You've had a very tough night. But if you remember later, tell me immediately, okay?
Okay. I will.
Did you know the man before?
I I don't think so. I don't remember anyone who looks like he does or did or
Hmm.
dreams are strange.
Yeah. Okay. I think there's a few more hours left. So why don't you try to get some sleep?
I I don't think I will. I think I'm gonna maybe just practice some things Giselle taught me until it's time to go. I don't really want to sleep right now.
Okay.
She kind of
I
like
see that you
gets
can
up
prefer
and
to sleep.
she like leaves the tent, so she does.
Oh. Um, can I, do I recognize the guy?
Which one?
The, either one. Either one.
Roll me a
Or
perception check.
roll anything. Yeah. Okay. Or history or something. Or memory.
I'd say I mean either's fine.
Is it perception or history?
Either, whatever you want.
Okay.
Whatever's higher. 13. You do not
Hmm.
recognize the man with the beard. You've never seen someone who looks like that.
Hmm.
The other one, you know for a fact that that was Strahd. You've seen enough like imagery and iconography depicting him at this point that you just know that that was Strahd.
Hmm. Okay. Is anyone else awake or is everyone asleep?
Um, I will leave that up to the others whether or not they would have woken up during the conversation from you and Irina. Sean's checking his head, so it's a no.
Dead to the world.
Yeah. Ysael, would you have been in a trance at this point, or would you be awake?
It's still been a chance.
Fair. Okay. I'd say Casimir's probably also just in a trance, so I'd say nobody else is aware of this as of yet. So, but do you want to go back to sleep, or you can remain awake?
Um, yeah, I just go back. I try to go back to. Well, actually, no. I go to where Irina is, and I just kind of sit in the corner and meditate or like keep an eye on her, basically.
Yeah, yeah. You see her outside, just seems to be like practicing some of the like sword motions that you saw Ysael teaching her like the previous night.
Mm.
Just going through the motions kind of thing. Seems very like very focused and like determined, so she does.
Mm.
Yeah, she does that for like an hour or two until dawn seems to approach as there's like a bit of a grey light emerging from the top of the like hole at the top of the crater. Um, with that, I'd say like each of you probably like naturally just wakes up around this time, like 6, 7 o'clock. You still, Casimir, you both kind of pop out of your trances at the same time. You, as you wake up, you look around. You all would notice that like Glenn and Irina seem to be missing.
Ah,
Got my
fucking,
bedroll and
fucking hell.
packed. Yeah. What's wrong with you?
We lost two of them.
They'll be fine. They're
Yeah.
probably having a chat somewhere.
Alright. I'll go see about getting us some breakfast if you boys want to tidy up. Then we'll head off.
Is that a sailor girl?
Yes.
Does not matter.
Not treated like one.
Does not matter to me.
Probably happy enough about that.
Probably. You don't want to be thought of as a girl by Guguri.
Ah!
No.
Any friends of Grigori has to mentally picture as having a penis.
Yeah. Damn womanizer.
It's kind of funny because I'm pretty sure the first time you sent me a description of like Grigori, you like mentioned your friend Yasil, and you definitely used the word buxom elf.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably did.
Oh yeah, it's the first line of Grigori's journal.
Yeah.
Let me see.
So, you all awake, begin packing up. Guguri, you head outside to try and scour some food. You would see Len and Irina outside. Irina seems to be doing some sort of training. Len's just sitting quietly nearby watching her. Maybe you say a good morning. You receive a morning from Len, I'm sure. Irina seems to like kind of focus on what she's doing. You head off. You find a couple of villagers who are currently awake and have begun making breakfasts of sorts. As you approach, they just almost like instinctively just hand you a bowl of warm stew.
Oh, yeah. Shall we not stay in here?
You can stay here if you want.
Maybe come back.
Yeah,
It's
you might
nice.
find a wife worth keeping this time.
Yeah, they're all worth keeping, mate. It's just whether or not they're worth letting go.
Alright, Butterfingers.
Anyway. New walk. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Alrighty. So you'll get some breakfast, you've packed up and whatnot, and begin making your way out of the village. You head to like the entrance tunnel, which has a couple of guards at it who just they let you pass, no incident whatsoever. Give you nods as you head out. You exit out past the frozen waterfall, find yourselves in the sort of little valley with the large like stone ruins lying around. Begin making your way back away the way you came a little bit back towards where a path continues further up the mountain. Make your way there and begin following that path. For the most part, you travel through just a mixture of like rocky crags and some like sparse forested bits. For eventually the path comes out of like a foresty bit and proceeds like going up the mountain with just sheer cliff along the left and then a sheer cliff drop on the right. As you like head out this way and like look over that edge, you see it is kilometers to the bottom.
Don't fall, Grigori.
Yeah, I'll be alright. It's you boys.
Do a flip.
It's you boys that can't fly. That's my problem.
Who can't fly?
Those ones. Say as I gesticulate back to the rest of them.
Why don't you turn into a giant eagle, Grigori, and just fly there?
Yeah, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
No, it's definitely.
I say as I slip and I nearly fall off the side and I'm scramble back up again. It's all about the journey.
Whatever you say, Grigori. Whatever you say. I just can't.
I can fly. Don't you to fly.
You can't turn into a giant eagle, but can you?
I can turn into a pretty big eagle.
That's not giant, Grigori.
Yeah, but neither can you.
I don't want to. Smell like a bird the whole time.
Bird smell alright.
Uh-huh.
You ever smelled a good bird?
Only when it's cooked.
Yeah. It's alright. It's a good smell.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Ah, fuck.
as you guys are all traveling along this
Mm-hmm.
like relatively precarious road, um, maybe only about barely 10 feet wide.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Continue on and on and on for a couple of hours. So you do. Um, as you get further and further up, it's also steadily just going on an incline. At one point, um, maybe you sail point notice this first. Um, you see that like on the edge of the road, just at like the cliff edge, there's like a small like chunk of amber,
Hmm.
maybe about like yay big, like apple sized.
Go have a look at it.
If we look at it, it's a little like half buried in snow. Like it's not very nicely shaped, or like it looks like it's like just a broken piece that landed here. And
Trade that to the man. Okay, right.
yeah,
My bag.
as you continue further up, you notice more and more pieces of like broken amber of various sizes. In some places quite large, like football sized bits. Others just little like golf ball bits. At one point you see like a giant chunk that's like pretty sizable, like too heavy to actually lift up. Um, Not really sure how it came to be there. It doesn't seem to be like coming like as if it's like naturally growing in the mountain or something. It all seems to have been like dropped or like set here or something. And it's like on like kind of both sides of like the path. It's like the left side where it's like against the cliff edge, and also on the right hand side, like right at the edge of the drop as well. So it is, but none in the middle. Funny enough.
Okay.
Anyway,
Continuing on. Did I find Seath or not?
you do not find safe to scale this. No,
She.
Son of a bitch.
find something worse.
Fuck.
Ah.
What?
Um, you continue on.
Mm-hmm.
I actually need to look at the book for this, but
Oh
There are
no.
7 dead people in our coat.
ba, 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 ba. Is it in this chapter? No, it's not. Hold on. Where is it? Ah, Sholenka Pass.
Sri Lanka?
Sholenka.
Sri Lanka.
Just fucking say that.
So, the shelf of rock on which the mountain road clings grows narrow. To your left, the icy cliffs rise sharply toward dark rolling clouds. To your right, the ground falls away into a sea of fog. Ahead, through the wind and snow, you see a high wall of black stone, lined with spikes, and topped by statues of demonic vultures with horned heads. Set in the center of this wall is a closed iron portcullis, behind which there burns a curtain of green flame. On the other side of the dark wall, gripping the mountain's edge, is a guard tower with some like broken statues atop of it. And you can just about make out beyond that green flickering flame, there seems to be a long bridge that spans a chasm.
Hmm.
I think there's actually, just for like reference, there's actually a very good image of this.
Looks like what is my reading's dream.
Uh, no, it does not.
Oh, go away. Fly around. Come on.
You never know what'll be fucking in there. Might shut me down.
Image.
You fly around to the other side and break the portcullis. What are you doing?
Break it open. Who you fucking think I am, mate?
Fly around to the other side and then open the portcullis.
Basically looks like that as you're approaching.
Jesus Christ. Okay. And the portcullis is closed, yes?
Yes.
What did you say it says closed? The door?
The portcullis.
What does that
Like
mean?
the like a big iron gate, essentially. that like comes
Is it
down.
door?
Kind of, yeah, like kind of like a door.
Probably gonna need some help with it. Lewin,
Ah, you'll be fine.
Lewin, give us a hand.
Should lift it up or legal?
Yeah, yeah, he looks strong enough.
It's actually taking me a while to realize Lewin isn't the same person as Len, and I keep turning when, like, I keep like paying attention when
Sorry,
Lewin.
just campaign is 2 years old.
Oh, Frenchie.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, he's strong, right? You'll be able to help me lift this on the other side.
I just think I'm plenty strong. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
All right. And I would like to turn into a giant eagle, please.
Okay.
I would like to grab Lewin in my talons
Okay.
Wait, what?
and
Door?
whoof into the air
Oh, it's about time
Okay.
like that.
No.
and fly to the other side of the portcullis.
Actually, while
Excellent.
doing this, can't we all climb up on Tensor's floating disc and float inside?
Tensor's floating disc only like floats to like 5 foot level.
As you do this,
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
The very second you pass over the like tower,
Mhm.
the two demonic vulture-looking statues animate,
Mm-hmm.
and immediately the heads turn to look up at you,
Mm-hmm.
and both just shoot green flames directly out of them at you.
Fucking hell.
So give me a second. Oh, that's gonna fall. Hold on.
So, Loon getting routine for through the high
Yeah.
craft car.
So yeah, let's be clear right now.
Oh, that was
Uh,
actually.
Not 20.
If they think it's knocked out of world shape while we're flying around the side of this, I'm
So, did you really think it would be that easy?
Give it to me, baby.
Oh.
Give it to me. What's the damage?
So, Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the arcs of green flame just shoots right past you.
Mm-hmm.
The other one hits you square on and deals 26 damage.
That is... Okay, right. Can I please roll for the health of this eagle?
Why?
Why, is that more than its average?
No, that is its average. That's exactly its average.
Say you rolled for
Didn't roll
That's
for
fair enough.
Say you roll
That's
for it.
fair enough. I immediately pop out a wild shape.
Excellent.
Son of a fuck. Son of a bitch.
So how high were you flying?
Just over. So I don't know how high up the...
I can tell you, I'm pretty sure it says exactly how high it is. It is 30 feet high.
Oh, that's not so bad.
So, I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
that due to like the nature of it, like hitting you, it will have like knocked you back ever so slightly. So the pair of you are gonna fall on the side of the gatehouse that you came from.
That's fine.
Okay.
I can take that. I'll take that action.
If we're still on the mountain, that's okay.
Oh, you're gonna roll a dex save to see if you like, because it's
Fuck.
snowy and icy. You're gonna roll a dex
Fuck.
save to see if you land and don't just slip and fall off the edge. So, could both of you make a dex save for that? Meanwhile, what is it? Every 10 feet is a d6 of bludgeoning damage for falling.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so that's 3d6. Oh, that was bad.
Fuck.
Okay, you both take 7 bludgeoning damage as
That's
you just
fine.
like, hit the ground. And what did you just both roll? Okay, Loon, you're fine. You managed to just like barely managed to like hit the ground, like kind of do a quick tumble, and you managed to like you angled yourself to tumble towards the actual like cliffside, like the wall. Grigori, you were not so lucky. You
Mhm.
hit the ground, and the sudden shock of all this, you had no chance to catch your footing. You like hit the ground and managed to just immediately slip on a bit of ice and begin sliding towards the edge.
As a bird or as a human?
As a human,
bird.
as a
Dwarf.
as a dwarf.
Nice. Good. I don't know how you want to roll this, but my first thing is going to be try to action surge to rush and fucking grab him.
I'm going to give you Sail or Len the opportunity to do something because you're too busy trying to not fall yourself at this exact moment because you're hitting the ground at like the exact same time.
That's what I
Can
thought.
I cast Tensor's floating disc under whoever is falling that isn't so heavy?
It's Grigori. Grigori is falling.
Yeah, if Tensor's Stone Disc is like an instant thing, then yes. If it's like a one action, is it one action? Yeah, to cast it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd say yeah. You could cast it basically like just under the edge where he's about to slip off.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that works. One action. Yeah. Uh, Grigori, you're like slipping. You're heading towards this edge, and for a split second, you're free falling, and you're like, this is it. And then you hit something, and you just find yourself on a disc.
I'm just like sitting upright in the fucking disc. That's not so fucking bad. Hello?
Alright,
I'm alright.
how did for you?
There's a fucking. Hey Len, nice job.
You're welcome.
You want to try that again?
No!
As you look up, the two like demonic vultures seem to have like returned to stone.
Oh, well, fucking try that again. Let's try a different option.
How would you go to the side this time?
Maybe I try climbing instead.
You go to that then?
Yeah.
Can I say, Mayor? How exactly did you get past this before? Assuming this didn't just pop down out of the sky in between your last journey and now.
That's a good point, Sean.
Well, last time when I approached the portcullis, it opens of its own accords, and then I just cast the spell magic on the flame.
You just see me scrambling up the side. You see me scrambling up the side and go, oh, cheers for the water, mate. Really appreciate that.
In my defense, you didn't really give me much of a chance. You kind of just turned into a bird and took off.
It's fine. 2 days walking here. It's alright. It's totally fine. It's totally...
Guide just for these exact reasons for us to not listen to the guide. It's fine. Whatever.
It's fine.
You know?
As I hear this, I just move the floating disc like push it just for the sake of it.
Oh, thanks
I
very much.
imagine you bring it back over to the road, and then you just tip it.
Just bonk it, or just flat my back. Okay, I'll be back in 1 second. Oh, son of a bitch.
Don't tell me my-
If you'd be so kind.
Of course.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't expect him to just do that.
Neither was I.
No, he
Doing
just does these things. But he paid the price for it.
True. And he begins walking forward and walks up to the portcullis. Once he gets within like between 5 and 10 feet of it, the portcullis just slowly like begins to creak open and raises up. And then the flame is another like 5 feet beyond that. So he just takes another step forward and just does the arcane motions and verbals of dispel magic, and the flame all just recedes. And then before you just see this like 100-foot long stone bridge that expands over a chasm.
Wow.
Of course, you see on the very far side is like a identical like pair of like towers and like gatehouse over the other side as well. And now I'm gonna wait for Nathan to return.
Oh fuck. Alright. Grab a drink. I'm waiting for this asshole. Fuck's sake. Whoa, it's the echo. Whoa.
So Paul, if you're running another Dark Heresy game, then why are you gonna run Shadowrun?
When am I running Shadowrun?
When will it happen? When will it happen?
Oh god, I have no idea. Dark Heresy is happening now, so after that probably.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
That could be a while.
Okay.
Depends how well it goes.
Huh.
If Reese gets bored in 4 sessions, then it might be then.
I mean, you wouldn't stop it if I left, though, right?
Aw.
Well, now I feel like I have to keep playing. Fuck.
No, it's
Uh,
fine. I
Well, it's
mean,
good for
if
you
you
then that I'm having a good time.
I take your interest on of a barometer of how healthy the campaign is in general.
no, but he's not a good measure
Oh,
because he
You'd
doesn't.
be the most likely to leave.
understandable.
I mean, you're probably the least interested in sci-fi settings, even if it is 40k.
Yes, I definitely am.
So,
Hmm.
you know, if you're still interested, then it must be doing alright.
You know what? Fair enough. I mean, hey, you just keep sprinkling Drakari things in. I'll be a happy fucking boy.
Apologies there.
With
I was so excited when you said Scourge.
the Scourge. I had
Oh
sitting
my
the
god.
whole session on my monitor, just the whole stat block, just like, sprinkle this
I,
in at some
uh,
point.
I was so fucking excited. Oh my god. I love Scourges. Scourges are so fucking cool.
It's a son of a bitch.
The amount of Drakari bullshit in my campaign is.
Oh, I'm excited to shit all the Drakari bullshit.
I'm quite literally here for it.
Yeah, I know.
So Nathan, all I described while you were gone
Mhm.
was that Casimir steps forward. He, as he approaches the portcullis, it automatically just raises up. He then casts a spell magic, and the flames all just dissipate. And then beyond that, it's just a 100-foot long bridge that expands over a massive chasm. And at the far side, there's like a mirroring, like gatehouse and tower.
Oh, what a fucking cunt.
I know. Why did you have to do that, Grigori?
You fucking told me to, mate.
When did I do that?
20 seconds ago.
Oh, that was back when we went flying over the gatehouse. Because obviously God did.
You fucking cunt.
So,
This is why you get no bitches, Grigori.
I'll get plenty of bitches. Get more fucking bitches than you. Women love my stout
Again,
stature.
you begin walking.
Manly musk.
You begin walking forwards. I imagine Casimir leading the way, given that he did the spell magic and whatnot.
He is the guy, yes.
Beard bristles.
When you reach about 20 feet out onto the bridge, there's a sudden shimmer, roughly like right in the middle of the bridge, and out of that shimmer steps a figure. Humanoid man just materializes almost in front of you. Casimir just stop. You see, standing ahead of you is an elf, like long, dark hair, same kind of color skin as Casimir, like kind of like dark purpley kind of skin, dusk elf perhaps.
Does he have any ears?
He does. That's how you can
Ooh.
tell from this he was an elf. He does have pointed ears.
Where are my notes?
He stands in these quite fine leather armor. He's got a bright red sash around his waist, and at his waist as well, held within that sash, is a very long, curved saber. He stands with hands clasped behind his back as he looks out at all of you. Casimir takes a step backwards and is slowly shaking his head.
This is the one, Casimir?
No, it's that's him. It's Rahadin. As Casimir takes another step back, terrified. Rahadin
Interesting.
takes a few steps forwards.
I also approach.
I mean,
He like bows his head ever so slightly towards you all. Greetings. I am Rahadin, head chamberlain of the Dread Lord Strahd von Zarovich.
He has a
Wait,
title.
wait, wait.
Nice to
Wait,
know.
that Ed made? What? Ed.
Head chamberlain, Strahd's right hand
Oh.
man.
And what are you doing up here, Head Chamberlain?
I am here to offer you all a choice.
Go ahead, offer the way.
Turn around and live, or continue forwards and die.
Feels like the Giga.
In Elvish, I'd like to respond, I will walk over to your corpse, traitor.
Whoa.
He responds in Elvish. I would love to see you try.
Oh.
As he just smiles, draws his curved sword.
Now we're talking.
And that's where we're going to end the session.
Son of a
Okay.
bitch. Oh, I'm gonna break that
This is
son
going
of
to
a
be
fuck.
a long combat.
Oh god. Not if I don't toss him over the side of the mountain in the first turn.
Follow me to assume that would work.
Well, he turns into a giant
I
eagle,
mean-
grabs him, and then
That was
flies
so fun.
100 feet that way.
He chose this spot.
Not if I turn into
Yeah,
a not if I turn into a giant chimp and pick him up and just. Oh.
What,
He
you're
had
such
like
a
a,
this guy's ass.
for every move that everyone makes, you need to
Kobe.
check that they're not falling off the edge of a cliff.
This will be fine.
It's like
Yeah.
a separate roll for balance or something.
See, I can
Just-
fly, so
Hmm.
Give you some
Jump.
reference.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, are we all leveling up or have we?
no.
Not yet.
No.
After we murder this guy.
Ba-ba-ba.
Maybe.
Well, you've got the
That's what he looks
great
like.
sword of Strahd slaying, Sean.
That is true.
It's literally the great sword of +3 kill Strahd. Like,
Yeah, Reese, could you remind me what exactly happens to the great sword once it when it's fighting Strahd? I know, like, okay, it's a +2.
Yeah.
It's +2
Oh, you
great
mean
sword normally.
Vladimir's greatsword?
Yes, yeah, like I know it's a +2 great sword normally,
Yeah.
but it does some other shit when it's fighting Strahd. What does it do again?
Did you not write it down?
I
that's like
forgot to.
3d6 extra damage, doesn't it?
Jesus Christ, Sean.
Sorry.
Classic.
My only response to that picture.
Is it?
It does an extra 4d6 plus 6. No, sorry, that's its no, sorry, that's its normal damage. Against Strahd, it does an extra 4d6.
Wait. Sorry, its normal damage is 46.
Yes, I told you.
Jesus Christ.
You've been using it
46
wrong,
was-
Sean, because you didn't write it down.
It's a +2 greatsword. It does 4d6 plus 6 damage. And it does an extra 4d6 against Strahd.
Because you did not listen, Sean, you have been nerfing yourself with this great sword.
I try to give you nice things.
Wait, that can't be right.
Why?
That's what Reese says. Are you
So-
telling him he's wrong? It's a nice sword.
It's not a normal greatsword. It's a really fucking good one.
It's literally a +2 sword of Strahd slay.
It's also filled with so much hatred.
It's an angry sword.
It's a Vorpal sword, Sean.
Yeah, like this sword is like it's like one level below just being a straight up cursed weapon.
Yeah. Like +3 is as high as it gets. Like this is a mythical weapon you have.
Okay, boys, I'm sorry. Tight schedule. I'm gonna leave there.
Right.
Catch you later.
Guys,
Bye-bye.